All right, so today we're doing something a little different. Usually we have multiple sources, but this time we're going deep on just one single YouTube video, and it claims to cover pretty much every way to make money online.
Every way, huh?
Well, almost every way.
Okay, okay.
The titles, let me see if I can get this right. Signer aussi.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and that translates to almost all ways to profit from the internet. The link's in the show notes if you want to check it out. I don't know about you, but I mean, anytime I hear make money online, my ears perk up, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Always intriguing.
But let's be honest, it's not all like, passive income and sitting on the beach, is it?
Definitely not. And this video actually tackles that idea right away. Like, right off the bat, the creator uses this phrase, and it kind of hit me.
Ja, zasiście dostaniesz. To no fail, that's stop on a fet say note.
Selsto, kinkum, wa, sum.
O, to mu abra, ateshet? Is ça? Is c'est bestisto? A just do a he. It's a sheet.
Okay, what does that mean? Basically, it translates to your pursuit of earning or profiting without any effort, unfortunately, makes you very, very, very easy prey. So, it's a good reality check. Like online work might offer flexibility, but still takes work, real effort to really make it work.
Yeah, it's refreshing to hear that, actually. So many people just try to sell you that dream, like effortless riches. But this creator seems, I don't know, a little more down to earth, a little more realistic. So what are these almost all ways to make money online then? Lay it on me.
Okay, well, he breaks it all down into four main categories: services, products, ads, and then this kind of catch-all category he just calls she.
Cheap.
Yeah, it just means other in Arabic.
Yeah.
I kind of thought it was interesting, even just the way he categorized it sort of hints that there's just tons of possibilities out there.
Okay, that other category's definitely got me intrigued. But let's start with services. What kind of skills are we talking about here?
He covers a really wide range in the video, like everything from video editing, graphic design, writing, voiceover work. It's really amazing, actually. Pretty much any service you can think of, you can probably offer online these days.
It's crazy how many, like, quote unquote, traditional jobs have moved online, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious, though, were there any, like, specific services he mentioned that really surprised you?
What stood out to me was just the sheer variety.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some obvious ones like, virtual assistants,
Right.
which, I mean, clearly that's becoming a more and more popular way for people to, manage their workload, delegate things.
Right.
But then there were some really specialized niches, too. He mentioned color grading, for example.
Color grading.
Yeah, it's basically where you adjust the colors and tones of videos to create a certain look or feel, kind of like what a cinematographer would do.
Yeah.
And he actually points out that people who specialize in this, they can make a lot of money because there are not that many people who do it really well.
Huh. That's fascinating. Why do you think that is? Is it because it takes a really specific skill set? Or is it more about, like, artistic vision or something?
I think it's probably a bit of both. You need a good eye for color and composition.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you need to know the technical side of things.
Right, right. It makes sense. I mean, I guess if you can really master something so niche, you could have a real advantage online.
Totally. And there were other kind of unexpected ones. He mentioned Foley artists, for example.
Yeah, Foley artists, like the people who make those realistic sound effects for movies and TV shows and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that as an online job, but apparently there's a demand for it.
Wow. I guess that just goes to show you how diverse these online services really are. But I mean, some of these also raise like ethical questions too, right?
Like ghostwriting, for example.
Mhm.
Who actually owns the work, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And actually, he even shares that he got a cold email from a potential ghostwriter, just out of the blue.
Wow, that's pretty bold. I guess that shows you how serious they are about their craft, though. Speaking of shifting work dynamics, you mentioned virtual assistants earlier. It does feel like that's becoming a whole new way of working.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like having I don't know, like a remote right-hand person to handle all sorts of tasks. I think it really reflects how much work is changing in the digital age.
Absolutely. It makes you wonder what the traditional office is even going to look like in a few years. Okay, so we've covered services, but this guy also talks about products as a way to make money online. I'm curious about that. What's he talking about there?
Well, he makes a distinction between digital and physical products. So on the digital side, you've got things like online courses, ebooks, templates. all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then with physical goods, it gets a little more complex.
Right, because you have to deal with like shipping and inventory and all that.
Exactly. And that's where things like drop shipping come in.
Oh yeah, drop shipping. I've heard that term thrown around a lot lately, but honestly, I'm not really sure how it works.
So basically, you create an online store, but you don't actually stock any of the products yourself. Instead, you partner with suppliers who handle all the storage and shipping.
Oh, so you're kind of like the middleman.
Exactly. You connect customers with products, but you never actually touch the products themselves. But he actually mentions that drop shipping isn't as hot as it used to be. I don't know if you have any thoughts on why that might be.
Well, I've heard it can be really hard to stand out in such a crowded market. And you're kind of at the mercy of your suppliers, too.
Right.
Like, what if they deliver bad products or their customer service is terrible?
Right, exactly. And there are other approaches too, like white labeling, for example.
White labeling.
Yeah, have you heard of that?
I don't think so.
So basically, you take existing products, often from like a manufacturer in China or somewhere, and you just rebrand them with your own logo and branding.
Oh, interesting. So instead of creating your own products, you're kind of curating and branding a collection of existing stuff.
Exactly. It's a way to build a brand without having to deal with the actual manufacturing side of things.
That's pretty smart, actually. Okay, so we've talked about selling services, selling products, but there's another big piece of the online money-making puzzle, and that's ads, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a whole world unto itself.
Right, it is. And in the video, the creator kind of breaks down two main types of advertising.
Mhm.
So there's direct advertising, where, if you've got a big audience online, companies might reach out to you directly and pay you to promote their products,
Makes sense.
right? But what's the other type?
The other type is what he calls indirect advertising, and this is actually what most people experience probably every day.
Okay.
I mean, these are the ads you see on YouTube, websites, social media. It's how a lot of those online content creators actually make money.
It's almost like this unspoken agreement we have with those creators, right?
Yeah.
We get to enjoy their content for free, and in exchange, we see some ads.
Mm.
But it does make you think about the trade-offs. Like, do you use an ad blocker, for example?
Well, that's a good question.
I mean, on one hand, they can be great for blocking those annoying pop-ups, right?
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, you are cutting off revenue to the creators.
Right. You're taking away their income.
It's a tricky issue. I don't think there's an easy answer. I think it's just important to be aware of those trade-offs.
Absolutely.
A lot of times I think we forget that someone's got to pay for all this amazing free content we get online. Okay, but I am dying to know more about this mysterious other category.
Hmm.
What are some of the less conventional ways to make money online?
Well, one that stood out to me was something called domain flipping.
Domain flipping. Okay, what's that?
Basically, it's buying and selling website domain names. So you buy a domain name that you think will be valuable in the future, and then you sell it for a profit. And the creator actually used a really good example in the video. He mentioned the domain name IEKC, which translates to lessons.online, was sold for like a huge amount of money.
Wow. Okay, that is fascinating. Kind of makes you look at every website name differently now, doesn't it?
Right. Like, what's the potential value of this name?
Yeah. Okay, so domain flipping. What else is in this other category?
Let me see. Oh, he also talks about affiliate marketing,
Oh, okay, yeah.
where, you earn a commission for promoting other people's products or services.
Right.
That's a pretty popular way to monetize blogs and websites and social media accounts.
I'm starting to see a pattern here, actually. A lot of these online money-making methods seem to rely on connecting people with things they need or want, whether it's a product, a service, whatever.
Yeah, that's a good observation. At the end of the day, you're providing value and making transactions easier. But, he does also issue a warning about some of the potential pitfalls, especially when it comes to things like trading.
Yeah.
He actually uses this really strong phrase, and I wrote it down because it kind of stuck with me. He said, Sonsef, Sonsefs, AGAC aqui, CNCSS aqui, CNCSF, ADSSF, Sionself, ATSSF, H, EDSSF. It basically means the price is very, very, very difficult. You sacrifice a lot of things for this return.
Whoa. That sounds intense. I mean, it sounds like he's really trying to warn people about the downsides of, getting too caught up in the chase for quick riches. There's
Yeah.
always a trade-off, right?
Absolutely. He really emphasizes that making money online is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes hard work, dedication, and a willingness to learn and adapt.
Yeah, for a video about making money online, he sure spends a lot of time talking about, patience and skill development.
It's true. It's not all about finding a loophole or a magic formula. It's about building something sustainable over time.
It's about building something meaningful, right, rather than chasing those fleeting trends.
Exactly. And you know what? That's really just the beginning of what he covers in this video. There's so much more we could unpack.
Well, you've definitely piqued my curiosity. I'm eager to hear what other wisdom this creator has to offer, but we'll have to save that for part 2 of this deep dive. Stay tuned, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone. Still thinking about all those different ways to make money online that we talked about in the first part of our deep dive. So many options.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing, isn't it?
It is. But, through all of it, I keep coming back to what the creator said about providing value. It's not just about, like, finding some niche or jumping on the latest trend. It's about actually offering something worthwhile, whether that's a service, a product, even just your attention.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. He really emphasizes that success online, it all comes down to offering something people actually need or want. And it seems like that often comes down to having specialized skills, specialized knowledge. Like he seems to believe that once you become truly skilled in something, the money will follow.
Right. He talks about, like, reaching that level of expertise where people are coming to you, they're seeking you out.
And it's like that saying, become so good they can't ignore you, right?
Exactly.
But, becoming that good, it takes time, right? It takes consistent effort.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There are no shortcuts here.
Mm.
He really encourages viewers to embrace the learning process, even when it gets messy.
Yeah.
He talks about trial and error, experimenting, learning from your mistakes, all of that.
It's that whole growth mindset thing. You got to be willing to put in the work and just keep refining your skills. But, with so many different possibilities online, how do you even know where to start?
That's where I think self-awareness is really important.
Okay.
And the creator kind of subtly guides people to think about their strengths. What are they interested in? What do they actually enjoy doing?
Right, right.
It's not just about chasing the hottest trend or the biggest paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
It's about finding something that aligns with your skills, your passions.
So it's less about following the crowd and more about forging your own path. But, even then, it can still feel kind of overwhelming. Did he offer any practical advice for those of us just starting out?
He did. You remember that part kind of in the middle of the video where he starts talking about Odoo?
Oh, yeah, the sponsorship segment. To be honest, I was a little skeptical at first, but he actually made a pretty good case for their platform, especially for beginners.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful set of tools they offer. Everything from website building to CRM and invoicing, all in one place.
Hmm.
And he specifically pointed out their free website builder
Okay.
as a great way for people to kind of dip their toes in.
That's a pretty low barrier to entry, right? You can play around, build a website, explore the features, maybe even start attracting clients without having to spend any money up front.
Exactly. It's a way to get some experience and, kind of see what works for you before you invest a lot of time or money.
And who knows, you might even discover you have a hidden talent for, web design or digital marketing.
You never know.
Okay, so there are tools and resources out there, but he still emphasizes that at the end of the day, success comes down to, hard work, dedication.
Oh, yeah. And he even quotes Bill Gates to drive that point home.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose."
Ooh, that's good. It's a good reminder that even when you achieve success, you can't afford to just sit back and relax.
Right.
The learning never stops, does it?
Never. There's always something new to learn, a new challenge to tackle. And speaking of growth, he ends this whole section on a really inspiring note. He says, "The internet is vast and can accommodate everyone with all their skills and abilities."
Oh, I love that.
It's like he's saying there's room for everyone, Find your niche, make your mark.
It's a message of inclusivity and empowerment. But before we get too carried away with all these entrepreneurial dreams, I think there's one more thing we need to talk about. A crucial aspect of online money making that we haven't really touched on yet.
You mean the potential downsides?
Yeah.
The ethical considerations.
Exactly. Because let's be real, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in the online world, right?
Right.
There are some shady corners out there, some potential risks.
And you know what? The creator doesn't shy away from that at all. We'll dive into all of that in the third and final part of our deep dive. Stay tuned.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into this YouTube video about making money online. And, we've talked about all sorts of things, like specific skills you can sell, the mindset you need to succeed. But like we hinted at before, it's not all, easy and fun, right?
Oh, definitely not. And the creator of this video, I gotta say, he's pretty honest about that.
Yeah.
Like, he spends a good chunk of time talking about scams, the
Mhm.
ethical stuff, the downsides of some of these approaches.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I remember that section about trading. That was pretty intense.
Yeah, exactly. He talks about how, that pressure to make quick money, it can really mess with people
Yeah.
mentally,
Hey,
physically.
totally.
Like, he's seen people get burned out, super stressed, not sleeping, trying to, keep up with the market.
Yeah. It's a good reminder that this whole like laptop entrepreneur, digital nomad thing, working from anywhere, making tons of cash,
Right.
it's not always that glamorous, is it?
It's not the whole story.
There's risk involved, for sure.
For sure. Especially with something like trading, which would be so volatile. He's not saying like trading is bad or anything,
Right.
but he's saying you got to approach it carefully.
Yeah.
Don't just jump in because somebody's promising you, easy money.
Yeah. I mean, if it sounds too good to be true,
Right.
it probably is.
Probably is.
Do your research.
Exactly.
Understand the risks. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
All good advice.
Yeah, for sure. And I also talked about some of the ethical stuff too, especially with ghostwriting. Where's the line?
Yeah, yeah. It gets kind of blurry,
Yeah.
who's the real author, all of that.
It makes you think, like, what am I comfortable with?
Exactly.
I mean, as a ghostwriter, you're creating something, but someone else is getting the credit.
Right.
It comes down to your own values, I guess.
I think so. What kind of work do you want to do, even if it's behind the scenes?
Yeah.
And overall, I think he's really advocating for a more sustainable approach to online business.
Okay.
Building a brand you're proud of, providing real value, building those long-term relationships, not just chasing the quick buck.
Yeah. I mean, that really resonates with me. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle, the grind.
Right.
But it's important to step back and think, like, why am I doing this?
Mm.
What impact do I want to have?
Yeah, what's the bigger picture?
Yeah.
And he ends the video on such a powerful note. Is, the internet's a tool.
Oh.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. And it's up to each of us to decide, how we're going to use it.
What kind of legacy we're going to leave behind.
Exactly.
That's a great way to wrap up this whole conversation.
Yeah.
We've explored all these amazing possibilities of making money online, but we've also, acknowledged the potential downsides, the ethical considerations.
Right. It's not all black and white.
No, it's not. It's complex.
It is.
But it's been fascinating, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I think we've learned a lot from this one YouTube video.
More than you might think.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm curious, what about you, listeners? What resonated with you the most from this video? What skills or passions do you have that you could maybe turn into an online income stream? Let us know in the comments. Join the discussion on social media.
Keep the conversation going.
Because the internet's constantly changing, right?
Evolving.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the next big online success story. Until next time, keep diving deep, everyone. And thanks for listening.